The 19th Africa Forum of the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport, CILT, has been opened in the Lakeshore district of Salima in the central region of Malawi on Wednesday, 25th April 2026. Opening the forum is Malawi's Minister of Transport and Public Works, Japi Muhango, who has challenged African countries to invest more in transport systems by, among other things, intensifying road construction and rehabilitation, but also investing in other modes of transport such as rail and maritime.
We believe that if we have got a properly harmonized transport system, the cost of doing business will be much cheaper. Much cheaper because there will be efficiency in the system. Currently, we are facing lots of challenges because our transport system is disjointed and therefore lots of inefficiency in the system. We want to improve that. We want to reverse this trend. So that's what the government is trying to do and will continue doing. Meanwhile, we are glad to host this conference in this country because at the end of the day, we'll have drawn lessons going forward. So this is a very, very important conference as far as this country is concerned. We want our men and women, young and old, to learn best practices, what our friends are doing in other countries. Remember, goods move from one end, from production end, to where consumption is taking place. We need to have an efficient transport system.
CILT International Vice President and Chairperson for Africa, Ibrahim Jibri, has called for collaboration among key players in the transport and logistics sector in order to effectively address challenges of infrastructure the sector is facing.
The logistics and transport industry in Africa is needing serious attention. Jokingly, I said there are potholes. It's not only in Malawi, but it's all over the continent. And it's not only in the road transport alone, okay? All other modes of transport are requiring infrastructural development. But of course, it starts with the formulation, to formulate policies by government who are going to be the ones that are really supposed to drive the policies themselves and then drive it to the different sectors of the logistics and transport industry. The operators are there, the regulators are there, and every other player in the industry is supposed to be brought into one group, one chain of logistics, transport, and supply industry so that we can collectively handle the challenges, infrastructural challenges in the aviation industry, in the road industry, in the maritime industry, in the pipeline industry, and in the logistics industry.
For his part, National President for the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport in Malawi, Cuthbert Chinguo, said Malawi stands to learn from global experts who have brought their expertise on how the country can improve the way it operates its transport and logistics systems.
We want to work hand in hand with government to try and provide better transport and logistics solutions to Malawi, which will actually unlock our landlocked country, reduce the challenges that we face as a landlocked country, but also to reduce the costs for transporting goods and people between Malawi and other countries, but also within Malawi. We would also want to see a multimodal approach so that we can migrate from too much dependence on road transport and move towards rail and water transport. That should help to bring the cost down, but also it is environmentally friendly than road transportation. It will also reduce the infrastructural damage to our roads once we move away some of the cargoes to water and rail transport modes.
Also in attendance is Dr. Doreen Owusu-Fianco, Global Chairperson for Women in Logistics and Transport, all the way from Ghana.
Logistics and transport industry has been a male-dominated industry with very few women. But now the women are coming up and we are seeing that's an opportunity, especially for the younger women, to have opening for job openings or career development. So now you hear all over women, even the latest is a woman going to the moon. We have women pilots, ship captains, they're everywhere. In Ghana, you see women driving trucks in mining areas. Women are everywhere. When it comes to stevedoring, the women are there. Where I come from, Ghana, Tema Port, you go there and it's women all over. Freight forwarders, women are there. You know, everything. We keep even saying that basically even a woman is a logistician because in the house, you are the provider, you look for the resources or whatever and then provide. Logistics is putting resources together or looking for the resources, putting it together for a good use.
Representative of the Secretary General of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area is also speaking during the opening ceremony.
What comes to mind are the women. Then you would understand that if there is no inclusivity, then this would also not be sustainable and it would also not achieve the goals. Because what do you say about women? The hand that rocks the cradle actually does feed the world. So ensure that women are part and parcel of the sustainable transport and logistics system.
And one of the participants is National Executive Chairperson for the Women in Logistics in Johannesburg, South Africa.
My name is Muipone. Surname is Masalesa, and National Executive Chairperson for Women in Logistics and Transport, South Africa. And the biggest challenge is access. Access in the sense that this has been an industry that is male-dominated. And then for me, standing for the women, it's actually a drop in an ocean. But we are really fighting. But generally, I think the colonization of Africa as a whole has made it possible that transport and logistics still belongs to a particular group, whereby you find that access is very difficult. We still have our smaller sections of transport, like in South Africa, it will be the taxis, and now, at least now, they are getting into the Ubers and so on. But bigger challenge is that the bigger transport sector, whereby there is rail, there is marine, majority of the black people are not participating there. When we just recently done a very small research, and that research was checking, are they in existence in that particular areas? Unfortunately, a very small percentage and majority of them, they are actually workers.
Summing it all is President of the Global Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport, Jan Steenberg.
People tend to talk about logistics and transport when it doesn't work, and we have seen a number of disruptions in the last few years: COVID, Suez Canal issues, wars, etc., and natural events that have impacted on supply chains, logistics and transport, and still does. And when I think some of these issues have been resolved, it's for our profession and our members to find solutions on how to sort of remediate some of the problems. That challenge has not become smaller because we also face digital transformation, tremendous development in technology. Artificial intelligence is coming and starting to make an impact in our profession, etc., while we're still dealing with fundamental problems like driver safety, road traffic issues, etc., warehouse operation, and so on.
Held under the theme Advancing Sustainable and Inclusive Transport and Logistics for Africa's Future, the forum has drawn regional and international delegates to discuss strategies for strengthening Africa's transport and logistics systems.